So, and Tom was here last year. He came with his buddy Sid Haig. We showed Spider Baby, and then Tom said after we left, he's like, "Hey, I gotta come back next year. We're gonna show a movie." And I was so excited about it. And then you got booked on a show like right after we announced the screening. So we said Tom wasn't gonna come, but then we didn't cancel the screening. We were like, you know what? Dusk Till Dawn's still a pretty badass movie. We can just show it without it. And then like a week ago, Tom's like, "I'm coming." So how did that happen?
I'm in Albuquerque shooting the Dusk Till Dawn television series, and we had a break in the schedule. It just so happened that the break took place now. So I called you and said, "Yeah, hey, I can make it after all." And after watching this, I have a deep appreciation for DJ Coltrana and Zane Holtz, who played Seth and Richard on the series. DJ especially, he's got all of George's mannerisms. So, what do you want to know?
Well, I was just going to throw a couple things, and we can throw it out. So the big one I always have a question about when I always see this film is obviously you're the godfather of gore, you're the effects master of all these great films, and then when you get the call to be in Dusk Till Dawn, they're just like, you've acted before also, but they said, "Hey, you're not going to do the effects on this." I mean, was that a conversation in the beginning, or was Nicotero always going to do it? Or?
No, Nicotero was always going to do the effects. And on set, I had to hold back my comments, except when Fred throws the vampires on the table legs, I leaned over to Greg and I said, "Shouldn't there be blood on those things?" He said, "Shut the fuck up."
That happened more than once, right?
No, only once.
I mean, when you turned into the dog demon at the end, I'm assuming you had to approve the dog demon that you turned into, right?
No. They had the actually it's a big rat. It's not a dog. It's a big rat. That was in the studio, and they didn't know where to put it. Okay, so they decided to put it turn me into that rat. So I asked them, if everybody else is turned into a bat, why do I turn into a rat? And it's because Howard Berger bites me, the B of K and B, so we always blame it on Howard. It's because Howard bites me, so we made it seem like he was the rat.
I just pictured behind the scenes on that, like those guys doing the effects, and every once in a while looking over to you and waiting for you to give a thumbs up.
No, that wasn't the case. But that was the case on Django Unchained. Everybody see Django Unchained? Okay, on Django Unchained, I had hair down to here, I had a huge beard. I was the guy that had the entire dog. So if you remember, the slave was up the tree, and I had the dogs with him. No, it was later. It was like they bring the slave down, they attach a fake arm to him, but his real arm was behind his back. So every time they did a take of the dogs attacking him, you could see his real arm, And I didn't want to say nothing because it's a K&B. But Quentin Tarantino walked past me, and I said, "You remember when I did that effect?" And then of course he knows it because he has seen every movie ever made. I said, "Well, I dug a hole in the ground for the guy's fake arm, so that all you see is the guy's body and the fake arm." He said, "Okay, great." I said, "But don't say that I said anything." So he goes back to the set, and about 10 minutes later he says, "Hey, why don't you guys dig a hole under him for the fake?" He got some resistance, but he said, No, try it. And it worked brilliantly, like 7 or 8 takes. So I'm standing there, and about 5 minutes later, Quentin walks by, and he puts something in my hand. And look, and it's $5. He said, "We have a tradition on my set that if someone from another department helps a department solve a problem, it's the $5 shot." So I became the $5 hero that day, without bothering anybody.
So I'm sure you guys have some questions. Somebody raise their hand on one. If not, I'm just going to keep shooting stuff out. Go ahead, sir.
Fred Williamson. Well, he has a cigar plantation in Jamaica, and every day on the set he would bring us these beautiful cigars, But I think that's all I had to do with him until he throws me through the window there. To me, that's the funniest line. Before I go through the window, Clooney goes, Oh. Because he knew the bats were going to come in.
Yeah. And then you never come back. You might, I feel like, we'd never see your demise. I mean, obviously, but who else, so what else we got? Over there.
How was it working with George Clooney?
George Clooney was the nicest man I have ever met in my life. He has inspired me. It does not take a lot of effort to be nice. I do conventions all over the place. And he really influenced me to be nice to everyone. However, if you Google my name, like the fourth or fifth thing that comes up is Tom Savini is a douchebag. or Tom Savini is a dick. And I know why. It happened here in Texas, at the Texas Frightmare. Is there anybody in here named Deidre? Okay, good. I'm sitting at my table and I'm signing a picture for a girl named Deidre, okay? And my friend is behind me and he's on the phone with one of our friends. And he says to me, hey Tom, I'm talking to Matt. And I said to him, I don't want to talk to anybody right now. And I'm signing this picture for Deidre, and she walks away and she throws the picture back on the table and walked away. I was like, I wonder why she did that. So we figured it out. I'm signing her picture and she hears me say, I don't want to talk to anybody right now. She thought I was talking to her. I was talking to my friend behind me. So we raced after her. We couldn't find her. I wanted to give her some free pictures, tell her what happened. Couldn't find her. Well, she started a blog on the internet. What a douchebag Tom Savini. So, see, one little incident like that, and you're dead on the internet. I mean, I don't know how to go into Google and change that.
Well, you need to complain to Google. This is like this person. Maybe can we reach out to her later and said like?
No, but that's what I'm going to do with the convention.
Yeah, you wait for
Deidre, are you out there? Please. There's a misunderstanding. What?
I'll vouch for you.
She's gonna vouch for you right here.
I've taken a picture with you every year for the last 3 years with my 2-year-old since I was pregnant.
How old is the baby now?
She's 2.5.
Oh, good. We'll come back.
And I was pregnant, and I've taken pictures with you every year.
You were actually the one who told us to come back every year and make it a tradition.
That's awesome.
We do.
See how nice that is?
See how nice that is? This is helping. DJ needs to go back to the convention.
Anyway, it's a long answer. It's a long answer to your short question, but George Clooney was a huge influence on me as far as being nice. But also, my daughter was 9.5, and she was with me. She was with me in the Titty Twister nightclub. She played cards. All the topless dancers are stunt women, okay? So she played cards with the stunt women. And George, she and George were inseparable. My daughter was always in George Clooney's trailer, okay? But so was Salma Hayek. So I would go over there and say, hey George, she stays right here. He bought her a watch. And after Dusk was on is when he got Batman. So I called him. My daughter's birthday was coming up. Leah, my daughter's name is Leah. Her birthday was coming up, and I called George's secretary. And I said, is it possible to get a picture of George's Batman from my daughter's birthday? And no, was the big answer. No. Warner Brothers will not release any pictures of George's Batman until that movie comes out, okay? Okay, so they sent, about 2 months before the movie came out, they sent George a big color portrait of him as Batman for his approval. He said, fuck that, happy birthday, Lee, and he FedExed it to my daughter, okay? So she's the only person in the country, the world, that had a picture of George as Batman before the movie. So that's what kind of a nice guy he is. Now, 35 years later, I went to a producer screening of Ben Affleck movie, Bryan Cranston, Argo, okay. So, and I was way in the back of the theater, and George, they did their Q&A because George produced it. Ben Affleck was there, Bryan Cranston, and they were all leaving the stage, and George was like the last one, and I ran down, and I said, hey George, and he went, Tommy! And he hugged me in front of the whole crowd, Everybody was wondering why George, was so affectionate to me. But he remembered me after, it's been like 1995 we made this film,
25.
Yeah, 25 years. So anyway, nicest guy I ever met, still is.
So what else we got out there? What else we got? I'm always curious. So tell me, we were talking before the thing, and you alluded to it at the beginning. So obviously there's been like 2 or 3 from Dusk Till Dawn movies, and then there's been from Dusk Till Dawn the series, but you didn't get a call to be in it again until this year. Is that right?
Right, and I saw Robert at South by Southwest last year, 2 years ago. He said, I gotta bring you down and be in the Dusk Till Dawn series. I'll probably make you an overlord, okay?
Okay.
But he finally called, and I'm down there I'm a character named Bert. Okay? That's plain and simple. But I'm an ancient warrior called Ilikamina from 200 years ago. In fact, I was this warrior, but in the movie, I run a weed dispensary. The first scene I have with Richard and Seth Gecko, they come into my weed dispensary. I wish I could show you the painting of me as the warrior, because I have an easel and paints, and I did a painting of myself and one of the female characters. And it's right above me, so you think they would know that that is me. But they're there to find out if I'm the guy, okay? So they find out I'm the guy, I help them. Now, I don't play Sex Machine. Jake Busey plays Sex Machine. And I'm allowed to say this now because they made an official announcement that I am allowed to talk about Dusk Till Dawn, the TV series, and me being in it. So I did before I came up here, I did a scene where I break open this barn door and there's a hideous creature back there stinging people and a scorpion. Jake Busey is there as Sex Machine. The Ranger is there. So I kill the creature with a crossbow. I say to the Ranger, I tip my hat to the Ranger, I've heard all about you. I look at Jake Busey and I go, and I say, what the hell are you supposed to be? And he says, PhD, cultural sciences, some people call me Sex Machine. I look at him and I go, right. That's for you guys. That's for that's a moment now. There's movie Sex Machine, putting down and the TV Sex Machine. And when I go back, we have this whole big scene that I just read. They sent me the script where we are bitter enemies. You know? So I think that's going to play.
That's going to play video.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm not in it at all. No, they sent me the movie and some releases to sign for being in the movie. And I watched it, and I watched it again, and I'm nowhere in that movie. So I called them and I said, why do you want me to sign this thing? I'm not in the movie. They said, you're not? I said, you made the movie. You don't know that I'm not in it. You know? So, I mean, they didn't interview George, Harvey, Juliet, nobody. They hung out with the crew. What the hell was the purpose of that? So I don't recommend that to anybody. I don't even like it.
You're in an extended cut of it. Not the non-released version. I mean, they were just covering their bases.
The people that made it didn't even know. I'm sorry?
I was looking for you the whole time.
Not in it. But then neither is Selma. I mean, the cast isn't in it, I don't think. I don't think remember that much.
What else we got? In the back, in the blue in the back. Sure.
I was curious, in the scene where Salma makes her debut in the movie, what was the atmosphere like on the set? It's so serious and alluring on the
When Selma what?
makes her debut, like when she comes out on the stage and does her dance.
Are you kidding? Did you see my face? The first time I saw Selma was in the makeup room, and all I saw was the back of her, about this much. And it was the most beautiful this much of anybody I had ever seen. Then she started talking and screaming in Spanish to somebody. But no, everybody felt the same way. Nobody warned us that was going to happen. I didn't know I was going to wear the dick gun, but they put it on me. I couldn't stop laughing. It took a year of begging, but I finally got that dick gun. It's in my house.
You have the original thing gun?
The original, the one I wore, yeah.
Yes, sir, in black.
What do you think of the big gun idea?
Oh, you know what? But it was in Desperado.
Yeah, it's in Desperado.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone or somebody picks out a guitar case and said, I don't even want to know this. But they couldn't get it to work back then. So lucky me, they got it to work with Dusk, and I got it to work.
So it actually turned into the barrel.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
He just started start a blog saying that he's a nice guy.
I promise you, I'm sitting at a convention, the guy walks up, hey, how did the bullets get from the sun? It's only a movie.
Yeah, it's just a movie. It's a night.
But it took 6 guys to operate that thing. One guy to make the flap go down, 2 guys to make the thing pop up, and then they fired flash paper through it.
Yes, sir, right there. Michael Parks.
No, but later on I did. Yeah. What did I do? Grindhouse or Machete Cage or something. Michael Parks, yeah. I adore that guy. He's like one of the greatest actors we have. After seeing him in Kill Bill play that Gonzalez guy,
Right. Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know it was him. He was so good. Yeah, no, I really admire Michael Parks, and we do conventions with him all the time. But I never had any interaction with him, except hanging out backstage on, I guess it was Grindhouse. I'm sorry?
Planetary, yeah.
Planetary, that's right. Yeah. I forgot about that. Anybody else? Yeah. They're looking in the dark.
I know, they're thinking of the dark. So, while we got a break and while they're thinking about questions, tell us what's going on with your school. How many years has it been going on now?
We just had our 15th year anniversary, yeah.
Wow. So I heard just know Tom runs a makeup effects academy. Where is it at again?
It's in Pittsburgh. In fact, if you watch Face Off, Nora, who won Face Off last season, as one of my students, the 2 makeup guys in Albuquerque doing my makeup for Dusk are my students. It was amazing to hear them tell me that. We just did a convention in Pasadena. What was it called? Monster Palooza. And there were like 15 of my students there, and a bunch of them were doing makeup. Anyway, here in Texas, at the Frightmare, Texas Frightmare, Nora Hewitt, who won Face Off, will be there, recreating Bub from Day to Day for a photo shoot. I just did a photo shoot in Charlotte as Sex Machine with a gun, the costume, the whole bit. And has anybody seen What We Do in the Shadows?
It's a good movie.
Okay, those guys, Peter and Deacon, I took a picture with them as Sex Machine. Peter is in makeup as Nosferatu, holding the beer bottle with the whip on it. And Deacon is over my shoulder grabbing the dick gun. It's been on Facebook. Look at my profile. That picture is on Facebook with What We Do from the Shadows guys. We love those guys. Yeah. Yeah. How do I feel acting versus makeup?
Some films you do makeup and acting in the same film. Some films you're just doing one or the other.
Yeah, every time I did effects, I tried to play a part in the movie I was doing effects on. And that led to more parts, and then just part. That's what George cast me in Night Riders. I did some effects in that movie, but I don't really do effects anymore. I consulted on a movie in Australia recently, effects-wise, But acting, that's what I'm really pursuing, acting and directing. And I've been pretty good at it. But